I'm not. What's that?
Oh, no, they were just doing housekeeping on the website.
Oh, I don't know. I just heard. So I mean, I just like to keep things simple. Things have been going well. I just really want to live out my life in peace and not getting into I don't know, just another quarrel with the town or a problem. You guys haven't even heard from me in the last 15 years. I don't think I've been to a town meeting, to be honest with you, since I ran for supervisor. So, I mean, I'd like to just keep it as is there a reason that you guys have? What was the motivation for this, or where is it coming from, or why? What is it? Did Old Ford sort of make this come forward or something? Why are we doing
Joe,
this at all?
If I can answer that, Joe, or try to simply put, I kind of agree with you along the lines of it should be town-wide. And I think that's where the start on this was. We were looking to do an update. And the town of Inlet's not alone. Like you said, Old Forge is doing it. I previously stated that Lake Placid had quite a few contentious meetings with Wilmington, Saranac Lake, and the other surrounding areas. We don't want to become a Hilton Head. We don't want to become an Modesto Island. We don't want to become one of these communities that is purely rental. I don't know if that's going to be obtainable from this, but that was also one of the thoughts in the back of the head that, and that may be where the moratorium came from. The planning board worked with the law firm on trying to come up with something that was palatable and presentable. I know they went back and forth, redacted things, brought things forward. This is out there now for the public consumption. I wish the paper, if I could touch on that, would still do the minutes or report on things, but ever since we lost the competing paper, there's been no need for them to want to do that. It's sad, but I also understand that the newspaper industry is changing drastically from what it was. I know that the members of the board here may not all fully agree with what the planning board has presented, but again, that's why we want to take a long, hard look at this. It may not be passed as is written right now, but Adele had previously stated that the planning board is looking to have a couple of public forums with the planning board. Those kind of things, I think we can place ads in the paper for, so that the people will know that, and you won't have to look on the internet for an ad for something like that. But I think we've heard you loud and clear.
Hey, John, just briefly though, it really wasn't written from the rough draft or whatever that I saw. What length of term are you talking about for going to the rental permit? What is the renewal cost of the permit? I mean, things of that nature. Because now it's 5 years and, I think it's $100 renewal, when we do our inspection, I know the process now, but what big change is going to happen? And
the recommendation as written now, but not passed, would be changing it to 3 years.
From 5.
From $5 and $300. There's going to be a lot more work for the assessor and codes office to do with this going town-wide.
True, that's what I was wondering.
And Joe, I got to tell you, one of the things we're already experiencing, we've already had people coming into the town hall that had purchased property and are renting them. I mean, we all know what happened with the Airbnb craze over the last couple of years, and that's completely different from what, you guys set up when you started with your rentals. We don't want to wind up with ghost properties. And quite a few towns are scared of that, where people are going to be underwater. And
what's a ghost property, John?
It's going to be one that just sits vacant because it's in bankruptcy and the bank doesn't want to release it for sale. And you don't know what kind of shape it might be in. We've already had people in that have bought and converted their homes. They're complaining that the winter was bad and they didn't make the money they thought they were going to make. And well, that's not up to us. And we're not out marketing all these homes on the back streets now for rentals. That was their decision to buy and convert. And I stress caveat emptor, buyer beware.
Right.
You've got to do more due diligence than just say, hey, I know the property values in New Jersey. This home's a $600,000 home. It's a steal at 325 up here. Throw another 40 into it and turn it into a rental, and then nobody rents. That's what I say we, but I think the planning board had in the back of its mind. And Joe, there's no real good science to try and read the mirror ball on that. Some of these Airbnbs are going belly up now because of the rental types that they're getting.
Inlet, you mean?
Not an Inlet, but we're behind the curve on some of that Airbnb stuff. You're seeing it in the major cities. You're seeing it in some of the major tourist destinations. We don't want to wind up with that here. And quite honestly, in my opinion, and this is just me speaking, I don't want to see our rental cottages diluted to the point where that they're not sustainable. It's nice to have that blend and mix, and I think we had a really good blend and mix. But where we're starting to fall short is the year-round home. And I don't care if that's somebody that's retiring up here and has the wherewithal to do it, or like you purchased 30 years ago, or like I did 30 years ago. I can't afford to buy my house right now.
Right.
These are the issues we're facing. And I think we've heard loud and clear. I don't mean to close this off, but this is also a regular.
I spoke my piece for now.
Yeah. And again, we appreciate everything you've said. Adele is she's making notes already on advertising for May and June for doing public hearing sessions where you can have a discussion with the planning board. I mean, we're already taking liberties with the public hearing process, but that's kind of what we do here at the town of Inlet, I think. I could just say, Joe, state your piece, and I can't answer questions, but that's not us.
So do you think, I know we're carrying on with an open meeting for, I think you said for quite a few more months. Mm-hmm. So the way I understand it is just the way the planning board has it written. You guys could keep some things, throw out others. It's up to ultimately the town board to make this decision, right?
Correct. We would usually go with a very weighted decision from legal and the planning board, but who knows? I don't have that crystal ball. Well,
just getting to the moratorium part. Okay, I have all kinds of problems with that, but my biggest problem is, at the very least, is that if you passed it to a family member, that they would have to be the recipient of a moratorium, as opposed to selling it to somebody downstate who came up. I mean, I'm just a guy from Deerfield, New York, and that's my family, and they wouldn't be able to sustain it without me. I don't know if they'd be able to keep up the work without me, let alone pay for it.
And quite honestly, I think that's one of the good points that's being brought up. So I think that's an excellent point to take back to the planning board at one of the public sessions and see what's there. In my opinion, I like to be the guy that tries to find the middle ground. There's got to be some way to do the arm's length and answer that father, son, father, daughter, wife, daughter, family member. But, some of those have been abused in the past. So we lean on legal to try and figure out where that is. In there already? No.
It's called the trust.
Yeah.
So John, it sounds to me, being in the middle though, the King Solomon here, you sound a little bit like one way or another, this moratorium might be into place.
Again, I'm one guy. I'm not trying to lead the board. I'm not trying to lead the planning board away from or to something. I'm literally listening to the public. I think this is a public process. I'd like to say I have an open mind. I have my feelings on it, but I still have an open mind.
Would it influence the town board here if I was to, how would I word this? Well, obviously fill seats in your town meeting. Some form of, and I don't mean this isn't the way it's going to come out and sound, but some sort of a petition or something of that, names on names on a registry as to a for or against type thing.
Well,
would that make a difference?
I would think public comment makes a difference, but again, these are my feelings after having gone to many APA meetings and watching both sides, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, left, right, environmentalist, commercialism, people stacking the decks. whenever we've had a public comment that needs to go elsewhere in the state, I've always said personal comments of a personal nature, short and sweet, mean the most. And I would think that would be the same thing here. The email we just got the other night, you know, the guy's been coming here for 60 years. You know, that resonated. You know, and again, you know, I'm not trying to tell you to shorten up some of yours.
Yeah, I know. I had to vent, you know.
But that's
My
what I
future ones
preach.
will be short and sweet, I hope.
But that's what I preached when we're trying to, when we're with the cell towers, when we asked people to write notes to the APA, we had over 170 submitted. And they were from one sentence to 3 paragraphs. And when I tell you the staff read those, that's my comparison. If we
Okay.
get those personal anecdotes, they mean more than, to me, personally, than a petition or a packed room with everybody pointing and screaming.
Okay. Point well taken.
Okay.
My wife says I talk too much, so.
Well, who am I to say your wife's not a smart person, but I didn't say it.
I know. So, well, all right, guys. Well, listen, I'm glad at least we could do this Zoom thing. I was really ticked that I couldn't make it in 3 feet of snow. But all right, guys. Well, take care, and we'll be in touch or till the next meeting, I guess.
Great. Thank you very much, Joe.
All right, take care, guys.
Any other comments on the public hearing that's still open? I'll ask again before we close the meeting, not the public hearing. That brings us to the minutes review. Anybody have any changes they want to the last month's minutes while Bonnie's not here?
Oh, I'm here.
She's with us in spirit.
Yes.
Well, apparently she's a techie. Anybody from the last month's quite extensive meeting minutes because of that wonderful bond notice we had? Hearing none. These are the town clerk's minutes. Public comment. Anybody in the public wishing to speak? Okay, there's another one at the end. Communications, bid opening, next Thursday, 23rd. Gonna look at my calendar so I don't say the wrong day. Yes, Thursday, the 23rd. Bonnie, did they give us a time on that?
Yes. On the calendar.
Or was
Yeah,
it on the calendar?
I think it was like.
Was it 1:30? Was it 1:30, Adele?
What was the date? I'm sorry.
The 23rd, Thursday, the 23rd,
Thursday, 3rd at 1 p.m.
1 p.m. On the generator bids and structure bids for the tower location. I have it on good authority from CNS engineers that there's quite a few people that were interested. I don't know how many bids will have come in or are on the way. We won't know until the 23rd. The horror story on the backside of this is I'm hearing 14 months on generators. Unless somebody's got one or can source one someplace or find one someplace. I'm hoping that some of these people were able to go out and do what we can't do is go out and buy one. Because of the federal grant we're using, we weren't able to start the bid process until we had everything crossed, dotted and stamped.
We look at the possibility of maybe renting one or something along those lines.
That would be up to
Something.
Tarpon. That wouldn't go along with rental, wouldn't be approved by the feds. So if Tarpon wants to get this thing up and running, we can accept a bid. We can accept any bid, but my fear is that
Diesel's a pain in the ass.
diesel's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's not.
And diesel is what Verizon put up on top of the hill.
The first time it fired up, they called the fire department.
And fog, they crazy.
So, but the long or the short of this is with CNS, I had them amend the bid requirements once more because somebody had asked, one of the bidders. I don't want to be put in a position where somebody says, yeah, we've got one, we can have it there installed by May 30th. And then they can't find one. They have to show proof that they have one, or it has to be apples to apples. No, we can't get one for 14 months, but here's the price we're willing to lock in at for the federal requirements. Then that would be up to Tarpon to go out and try and find one for rental. Structure should be no problem, from what I've heard. That's on the 23rd, next week, Thursday at 1 o'clock. Other than that, I don't have any updates on Tower. National Grid hasn't jumped up and said, oh, hey, we can be there May 30th. That would be nice. Planning board, anybody from the planning board have anything to report?
Plan stuff.
Walked right into that one.
We will plan a couple of meetings.
That's a good idea when you said that, though, yeah.
I think that's an excellent idea.
Information,
Dave's
answer,
idea, so.
questions and answers, yeah.
All right, assessors, codes, parks, building, they're all attached. But we're lucky enough to have everybody here. Anybody have anything they wanted pointed out? How's your new groomer working?
Awesome. Makes such a difference. We can do things much faster. It's laying a much better track and obviously it's safer, it's warmer. It's been awesome using it the past few weeks. We did take the drag. We kind of converted an old snowmobile one. And it's doing a decent job, but we'd like to spend some money and upgrade it. We'd like to get a new pan for it and make it just a little bit wider, because currently it's not covering the full tracks of the machine.
I see your mean.
So we're leaving about 3 to 4 inches on either side of the groomer.
Like corduroy?
So I kind of looked into pricing to get a piece of sheet metal, looking at about $500, and to get new combs for it, which lay down a nice corduroy is just around the same price. So for like $1,000, we can upgrade that. It will be good to go. And Chip is willing to help us, make it all happen.
Awesome. I don't see a problem with that. Have it ready for next year.
Yeah, nothing we're gonna, use this year, but we're hoping as soon as the season's over, we'll get the material and get working on it.
So it's been good you've been able to use it. That's what I want you to use.
Yeah, but yeah, it makes a huge difference, especially today. If I had to go out there on a snowmobile and thing, I would have been stuck all day. It would have taken me 3 days to do it. We were able to do almost all our trails in 2 hours.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Golf course included?
We did not get to the golf course today.
That would have been very impressive.
Yeah, I'd also like to thank Sean, that is not here, for getting town hall and Arrowhead all cleaned up for fire and lights.
Thanks.
He got it all cleared up. He put a bunch of sand down, the ground from being too slippery. And we really appreciate it. He got Danae's lot all cleaned up for us, and that was heavily used that day. So,
Pardon me.
I also want to thank Frank and Stephen. I was sick last week, the week before, for 2 days, and Frank worked some overtime and Stephen came in to cover a couple of shifts. So really appreciate that.
Amy, anything you'd like to point out?
John has completed everything, so he's ready for you guys to appoint him as code officer. It doesn't mean you're not keeping me as code officer for the year, but it just means you can make him official now. And then we've been looking at a software program that would greatly help us with, it does the whole permit process for us from start to finish. It keeps track of expiration dates, warns us where now we're going through spreadsheets or files. The other thing it would be wonderful on is helping with rental. When we do start the new program, or even if we continue the program we just have, right now we're working out of a file cabinet with the ZBA. This would make it all automated, so we know whose permits are due when they're due. It would give us documentation whenever we do a violation, say on a house. It would come right up in our computer 30 days, go back and check this violation, which now it's up to my memory, which is getting old. The other thing is the assessor. That system is $8,000. The biggest expense is the initial upfront cost of buying the system and training us. It doesn't make a difference if we do it on 2 computers or 1, it's the same price. After that, it's $1,600 a year. And for saving time, that would be wonderful. We have no type of system now to keep track of anything other than us and going through the or reports. This really automates the office quite a bit. And there's 3 other towns, John, that use it.
Yeah, Arietta, Lake Pleasant and Speculator all use the same software from Williamson Law.
What's the lifespan of this system, or
It's the yearly fee is
Just
includes updates and
so it goes on pretty much?
These are the same people we're using for the clerk software and for the payroll program and the bookkeeping. And they're very responsive, you know, other than us not talking the same language as them a couple of times with budgeting and stuff like that. Those are the only real hiccups. And they've been responsive anytime I've had to call with panic trying to get a payroll out. They're more responsive than any software system that I dealt with prior to that.
I talked to another software company when I was in New York City at the conference, and it was funny because he couldn't find us. And then when he found us, he's like, "Oh, you're too small. You need to go with Williamson Law. They're the only ones that work on towns of your size and have the software that's."
Well, you'd want it to be compatible with what we're already using in the other departments so that it will go together, correct?
Right, and along those lines, this, you know, we don't need to go out for bid on this. This is something we're already using. This is an add-on at this point in time. One that they told us was there when they pitched it, and we went out and looked at other software. Was it 7 years ago, 6 years ago now? There's even a parks program that I won't let Mike see for at least another year.
And so this thing in the front, that doesn't affect anything, right? This 895 and 1270, what? There's
The
two
front page.
proposals, one on the
Right, the
front
second
page.
proposal is for cloud, and that's not.
Oh, that's only for the hosting of the cloud?
Right.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, we didn't know.
yeah, no, all right, that's fine.
Everybody usually wants to know where the money comes from. Amy, who hadn't listened to me for 6 years and didn't hire somebody to come into her office to help her, has dropped enough money to the bottom line to more than pay for this system for the first year. And then we'll make sure that the software support would be there in the budget year after. We religiously ran anywhere from $6,000 to $12,000 for a second in her office since she took over. And that money always just fell to the bottom line.
No, we're making up for it this year, though.
We're making up for it this year. In a good way, planning for her retirement because she was nice and told us it was coming eventually.
I'm just saying, you take a couple of years and add it to this.
So we have two things in front of us right now, and you've been looking at this, the paperwork there, but I'd like to take the first one first and offer congratulations to John on straight A's.
Not straight.
What's that?
Not straight.
Oh, well, almost straight.
Kind of like that.
97.
97. A bang up job on the training, and he's quite honestly perfect for the job. I'd like to make the motion to make him our codes officer with Amy still operating as the second.
I'll second that.
Discussion. Congratulations, Amy. You've got somebody to take some of the load off.
Well done.
Yeah.
And John, congratulations.
Congratulations.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So carried. And we'll forgive the fact that you didn't wear a tie, but since I haven't been wearing one for 15 years, it's okay. Bill Farrow's no longer here with his tie.
Talk about the four.
I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that we've done that,
Okay.
let's
That's-
address the software issue. Sorry,
It's all right. No, you're on it.
your question.
I see they got the additional 495 for each workstation additional.
That would be over the two workstations?
Over the
That would be
two.
Okay, so
over
it comes
two.
with two. Okay.
Yeah.
We wouldn't need, right?
Not at this point in time.
Which we wouldn't need.
No,
I don't see.
I didn't know if it was one and then yeah, that's for the second one or.
No, it's
Okay.
just for the two to start, and then if you wanted additional,
And we're not looking at the cloud to take this out into the,
No.
we know there's, I understand, well,
Oh, I'm
I know
sorry.
you're not looking at the cloud.
No, I am. I'm definitely
I
not
asked
looking
that
at the
question
cloud.
specifically, and without, as of right now, we don't have cell service that's reliable enough.
Right.
And it won't work at all without the cell service.
Gotcha. So it's not worth even looking at. So,
Not at this time. And then they said, if it's something you want to do in the future, you can always add it. It doesn't affect anything. that you have right now.
very good. I've showed you where the money is. Would anybody like to make a motion on the request?
I'll make a move.
I'll second it.
Discussion? When implementation and training when?
We didn't even
We
get that far.
didn't do anything yet. We were waiting for,
Okay,
to make sure you guys approved it.
any other discussion?
We get a reduced rate for bundling. I mean, we use them for everything else.
I believe that's kind of built into the price they already offered us.
Just throwing it out there.
I hear you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? So carried. That's it. You can't ask for anything else this year.
Seen it 10 years.
I think we'll do that.
Okay, Adele.
Nothing really, other than like in addition to what Mike said for thank yous for frozen fire and lights, mine's a big, huge list, which I sent to the paper, but they haven't printed yet. Along with some great photos and winners of all the cardboard sled races and the outhouse races. But, so the link is there on that page if anyone wants to go and see all the people that were paying. I mean, there's a lot to make that happen. So I think
Other than one wet sled, everything went really well.
yeah, yep, yeah, everything went very well. I mean, Mother Nature gave us snow that day.
Yeah.
The
How,
only thing that we did not have was wind. We did not have any wind, but the big kites up, so.
Right.
And, you know, there were kids out there trying to make their kites fly, but, you know, no big wind. But they're gonna come back, the kite kids, so they're not discouraged, they will come back, try again.
and it was nice with the full court, prince and princesses.
Yeah, a whole family, it was
Princess.
a king, a queen, and two princes.
Two princesses.
Who would like to ride on a float in St. Patrick's Day Parade in Old Forge, but without Jill and Carl, I have no one to help me put this together. I'm looking for someone to put the float together.
Hopefully they still have the parade. Because DOT is throwing a monkey wrench into things down there.
Really?
Yeah. All of a sudden, somebody from the State Department of Transportation noticed that there's been a parade on Main Street. And what if it snows and it's supposed to snow on Friday?
Actually, I think it's supposed to rain.
The DOT guy says it's gonna snow.
It's always worked out, other years it's snow.
My comment back to somebody in Old Forge was, well, why don't you point out to them that they couldn't plow the road to Eagle Bay for 3 hours today?
Yeah.
So what would a half an hour parade do?
Not on my report, but I got a letter today. Frontier is taking away our payphone.
Oh. Really?
Yep.
You're never gonna make it.
At Frontier, we continually evaluate forms of pay telephones. Our most recent review indicates that the Frontier owned payphone listed above. It's the one right in front of my office. I'm assuming Bonnie probably got one for the other two, maybe.
There is something on her desk.
Is there?
That's probably it.
Is not generating enough usage to continue it to operate. Within 30 days, we will be discontinuing the service and scheduling a Frontier technician to come on site and remove our equipment.
So you know what that means? They're gonna turn it off, but it'll sit there for 30 freaking years, like the other poles they've still got standing all over the place.
And I had climate smart stuff. Connie asked me to get, do you want that now?
Yes, please.
She fell, and she
Oh, no.
fell and whacked her head and hurt her back. Her head's okay, but she's got some back pain. She's dealing with, so that's why she's not here. She just wanted to have me give an update that we're doing stuff with the climate smart. Like some of it goes right over my head, so I don't really know, but I'm just gonna read what she wrote. Task force is including the possibility of the newer type of wind turbines, solar, discussion of compost drums, and Jeremiah has some good plans. He's been talking to a lot of people. I don't know if he's reached out to any of you yet, but he's trying to find some benefactors and some funding to do some big things like a new playground for the youth commission, a new playground for the school. Also looking into chillers for the pavilion to help the ice life at the rink. So,
Big benefactors are nice.
yes, they are.
We used to have a couple.
I think that's all. Connie, well, and she also wanted me to, once again, invite you guys. It would be nice to have more input from the board, during, or, you know, because we have, and there's many different subcommittees, if you guys wanted to just do, like, touch in with one of the subcommittees once in a while. There's one that's specific on climate smart, there's one that's specific on, I don't know, housing, yep. Yep, mental health and wellness. The community garden. The community garden, which that one's got a lot of people helping in that one. And then the other one is website, but. So,
You still on the Climate Smart, Amy? Yeah.
yeah, and so they go by the Inlet Area Community Task Force now.
Okay.
And Climate Smart is one of the subcommittees to just focus on climate smart stuff. Right now, there's myself, Amy, Dan Kieferbach, Connie, and Blake Newman, who is from
The water. He lives in Racket Lake.
lives in Racket Lake, but he works out of Blue Mountain.
Gotcha.
I think that's all I have from Connie.
Thank you. Police, I just want to remind everybody that we had talked at budget time of reconfiguring the layout of the police office just by moving a couple of walls down there. I mean, they've been slowly replacing a door or two that have failed. But hopefully soon they're going to be bringing us a drawing and a cost estimate. Just putting it out there for it's coming, a reconfiguration. Highway Department. I've got Sean's report here. Plowed and sanded, hauled garbage and recyclables, repaired their Western Star snowplow. Western Star broke down again, waiting for parts to get it back in service again. Took delivery of the new international mini dump, put it to good use during the storm. It's done a very good job thus far. Stop up and check it out. Timing on that one coming in couldn't have been better. Moved snow around town to make room for more. Good thing they did that. Moved snow to the snowmobile trails. Plowed and sanded everything for frozen fire and lights. The culvert for Parkhurst Road has arrived. He's going to notify all property owners on the road to let them know about the closure. They're hoping to have the road closed only one overnight. We're looking to do the job in early May before the holiday weekend. He'd like to thank his staff for all their hard work over the winter. Coming up, they're going to plow and sand roads, parking lots, sidewalks, etc., haul garbage and recyclables. Get the Western Star tandem back together once all the parts are in, and work around the shop cleaning up the shop and the equipment. Transfer station open 4 days a week from 8 a.m. to 11:45, then 1 to 6:45. Closed from 12 to 1 daily for lunch. Place is neat and orderly. They have some full bins to haul once highway gets a chance to haul them. Any questions or comments for highway or transfer station?
Any word from county on road closure thoughts this year? No, yeah,
Not yet,
not yet.
not yet. As soon as he thinks he usually sends that blast right
I
out.
just wondered.
Right. Well, next week's looking a lot warmer.
Yeah.
So we may be hearing from him before long. Town clerk's report. You still there, Bonnie?
Yeah, but I forgot to bring my revenue report, so I don't have that. The only thing I have is what I had mentioned to Amy before the meeting, CHIPS thing. I don't know if you have that under you.
No, we were gonna let you do that.
Oh, okay. Do you have the,
I'm digging.
okay. For the
You
amount?
sent me an email, right?
Yeah, I forwarded you CHIPS, the information on the amount, and I sent the email to the whole board in November regarding the extended warranty on the, what is that, a Cummins? Or something like that, a different kind of engine or a different kind of motor, or,
Cummins in that one, yeah.
Is it-
yes, so, yeah. And they can do a warranty just to extend to that specific motor. I guess is the way I understand it.
All right, hang
You
on.
ever do that before?
So this thing we're talking about is only for the motor.
Right.
Extended warranty for the motor. We put it on
Yeah.
hold, remember, whether we wanted to buy that or not.
What are your thoughts, Dan? $3,000?
Warranty is only as good as the dealer. All I'm gonna tell you. You can have all the paperwork you want.
Well, we've never really had engine problems with our growers, have we?
Oh, don't go saying
No, I'm
that.
just saying, I mean, no, they've been reliable.
Yeah.
They've been reliable. We've never done.
I guess is it excluded to emissions only? All those exclusions are the hangup, really, to be honest.
It's all excluded?
There's all kinds of.
There's quite a few of them.
Yeah,
That's the dilemma. You say, you just save the $3,000 and
put it towards parts.
when you do get a breakdown,
I don't know, that's what I'm saying. We've never, the engines themselves.
yep.
I think Chip seemed to feel that if there were 2 calls on the thing that where they had to come up and work on it or whatever, and between the parts and the service, it would pay for itself. But I don't know if we've had those calls before. It's usually been stuff we can fix ourselves.
As long
We
as.
still had to go. What's
As long-
that?
As long as we have Chip. When we lose.
Well, no,
Chip-
but I mean,
Yeah.
other guys at the highway have been able to repair the tracks before and put a new track on.
Mhm.
Is where I'm.
Well, the track's not even gonna be covered under this.
Right.
I know that.
Yeah.
I'm just, that was an example.
Is it covered in our shop or there isn't that travel time? All that gets really expensive.
It does.
Oh, yeah. So,
I still think,
how long is this working? 5 years?
Is it a 1 year?
I think it's 5. I don't
I thought
remember.
it was 5 years. I thought it extended.
5 years.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I think.
It's been too long since I read
Not for
that.
$3,000, I don't believe it. Oh, I could be wrong.
Let me read it.
it's based on hours, 2 years or 2,000 hours of operation is the base warranty, the extended warranty. 3 years or 10,000 hours of operation. I
So it extends 1 year, right?
think you're adding 3 years to the,
So you're adding.
Yeah, you're adding
additional
3
issues.
years.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a total of 5 years is the way.
5 years, and you'd wind up with 12,000 hours.
We never.
We won't make the hours.
We won't make the hours. It's not like we're a ski hill where you're
Time
driving
for
2
us, it's
shifts.
not hours, it's time.
So I guess if you broke it down by the year, $3,000 over the course of,
Well,
It's $1,000 a year to add 3 years. That's
Mhm.
basically what he's saying.
I'm not the equipment guy, so
What do we
it's
pay
cheap.
for
You,
that?
you probably won't notice it. I mean,
For
unless
what
you
we
have some
paid for the thing,
catastrophic.
it's not, it's really nothing, but I mean, they're so expensive. But
well, if it, like you said, if it has all the emission stuff and everything in there, that would be where your money is, your big money, and it lets you pull the motor, but probably not gonna happen. It might, you paid a lot of money for the thing.
Yeah, I mean, if the motor usually runs.
usually if you buy the extended,
Yeah.
they're a little more lenient about coverage because you show due diligence trying to cover yourself. Usually,
when you look at the price we paid for the machine, it doesn't seem like it's out of hand for,
it's cheap for sure.
it's cheap.
$1,000 a year.
Yeah.
That's your gamble.
Anybody want to make a motion on that?
I say we go with it.
Yeah, I'll second that. Yeah, I guess so.
Those are our 2 equipment guys.
Yeah, when it breaks down to that level of $1,000 a year, I mean, it doesn't take long to spend $1,000.
You know, we probably spend that on travel, getting here and back, but that's why I asked, is any of that stuff covered?
Those were Chip's concerns, if I remember
Right.
correctly.
Well,
Yeah.
it's insane to do mechanical travel.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Give Chip the good news.
Alrighty.
This now means nothing will happen with that engine. Good move. If we hadn't done it, I know what would have happened.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
That's all you had?
Yeah,
Thank you, Bonnie.
thank you.
I have something in front of me. Let's see, what was it again? Oh, the library board. Apparently, the library board thinks very highly of one of our residents. Jennifer Blakeman has been put forward as a. As soon as he did that, I lost my total train of thought. I'm sorry. Well, he just, well, thank you for separating from excellence. There. The library board puts forward Jennifer Blakeman as a new trustee, and I already told the library board that I think that would be a wonderful idea. So, but now I need to know what the rest of the board thinks.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Further discussion? Thank you very much for saying yes, you're interested in that. All in favor?
Aye.
Welcome aboard. You'll be running the library within a year. They're all gonna run away from the trustee board. Have I- And I don't scare people until after they're already in. But no, thank you, seriously. We're very lucky to have that library. Summer staffing needs. If anybody has a youngster that wants to become a lifeguard, let me or Bonnie or anybody in the town hall know. My kids, your kids, it's a great summer job with excellent pay, and the pay is getting better. I'd hate to not have the beach open, but things are pretty scary if we don't get some youngins to come through, or even somebody middle-aged or retired that wants to be a lifeguard.
Do they supply the training, or do you have to be lifeguard approved before you apply?
At this point in time, I think we're open to all of the above, quite honestly. And seriously, the danger in the training has always been that you train somebody and then they go get the job someplace else because somebody's paid $1 more. So there'd have to be some kind of agreement in place, and I think we've worked along those lines before. But it's pretty darn good pay for a good job. But anyways, we need coaches, we need lifeguards. I'll start begging now, but if you know anybody that wants to come up and live in your house for the summer, please get a hold of them.
I was thinking of volunteering your home to people, but yeah.
Is there an age requirement on the coaches?
There is, I think that's 12 years old.
I don't know.
12 years old if there's if somebody 13 or 14 above them, whatever. But we've been lenient on that in the past too, you know, to get a coach and training kind of deal, as long as there's somebody older in place. But the appeal is out there. That's all I had. Anybody from the board have anything they want to bring forward?
I had on a planning forum in Saranac.
To the what?
The Adirondack Planning Forum in Saranac on the 26th and 7th.
That's right, the new thing. It's at the Hotel Saranac instead of the Crown Plaza.
Right.
Who wants to go?
I'd like to go to that.
Okay,
26th and 7th of April.
I'd like to say that training has always been something that the board backs. So I believe this is open to any of the planning board members. It's open to Amy. John, it's open to you. Huh? You're already signed up. And anybody on the board that wants to go.
Is there a deadline for it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, so the cutoff where the price goes up after April 12th. But I'd like to submit everything before I go on vacation, so we're done and over with.
So what's your deadline?
Exactly.
March 29th.
I knew you were gonna say that, March.
Adele's in charge of making the hotel reservations and making sure you're there. I unfortunately won't be able to go this year. And I worked the Hotel Saranac when I went to Paul Smith's. It's kind of neat to see it going back there. Yeah, I was the dining room manager for the Olympics, during the Olympics. It was a pretty cool job.
Was that the 1934?
That was good.
So
Bonnie, we have to talk about your deputy. She's stepping out of line.
Isn't she great?
We like her. We like her.
Kind of reminds me of you. Anyways,
yeah, let me know as soon as you can. I honestly don't know, like it's Hotel Saranac is smaller than Crown.
very
so
smaller.
Rooms might go faster if you really want to stay and have a room to sleep in.
Okay. Anything else? Yes, sir.
I forgot to mention, I believe me and Sean are gonna meet up with Lenny from Hamilton County Soil and Water and take a trip out to Lake George to check out their permeable sidewalks.
Yeah, they still got money available.
Yeah, they have a lot of money available for the town of Inlet to put in place some sidewalks, permeable stuff. So we're gonna go take a closer look, talk to their guys who installed it and find out what the process is and something we're thinking about maybe doing at town hall to replace some of our deteriorating sidewalks.
How would you rate what was done out here? By the,
Out by the bathrooms.
I think it works really good. The install, since we didn't really know what we're doing, could have been better.
Okay.
To make it more level and flat, which led to us using less rocks. To get it level, but it's made a huge difference.
so you think it's been effective?
Yes, this stuff is totally different. It's
Oh, really?
precast concrete.
Yeah.
That's porous. The
Bigger.
But you have to have a nice bed for it. The bed has to be perfect.
groundwork has to be done perfect.
Is that E-stone or something?
It's multi-layers.
Yes,
That's on different sides.
yeah, it's like a sand layer, then a rock layer, and then you lay your precast on top.
They're bigger pieces than those.
Yeah, they're like, what, 4 by 6?
They're wider, aren't they?
I think they're 6 foot wide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, they say that it's cut down on their salt use in the winter even.
Right.
Because you don't,
The water doesn't stay, it actually goes through it,
Right.
so you're not getting that ice layer.
that freeze layer,
You get nonstop of it.
and that's without putting heat underneath it.
Correct.
So my pipe
Yeah.
dream, literally my pipe dream.
No pun intended.
Well, us old farts from the 30 Olympics, go that way.
They got him.
Yeah, I think, did John go out there already?
He did.
Yeah.
But they really want me to go take a look, since it's for town hall.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna get some information. I don't know if it's something we're gonna do or wanna do, but, we'll get the information and bring it back and figure out all the costs and.
The biggest thing is sand and whether or not it's gonna gum it up, but Lenny's convinced that if we can do it and they can do some over at the county level, that there's a machine he can get that would help with that.
He believes he can get this big vacuum thing that he can share between the towns. It's not something you need to use every week, once or twice a year.
To clean it out.
Yeah. Just keep the pores open, pretty much. Very good. Anything else from the public? Anybody have any other comments on the open public hearing on the short-term rental regulations, which I believe the board will be keeping open again for another month? If not, I don't have anything for executive session. I'll take a motion to pay highway
I'll move that.
Second hand.
discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have one question on general on the bills. Bonnie, you still with us?
Yes,
The National Grid lights, was that for multiple months?
Yeah. 2 months, yeah.
2 months, okay, thank you. Motion to pay general and sewer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Next meeting is on the 18th. It's the third Tuesday, I believe, right?
Yes,
The third Tuesday. Don't come here on the second Tuesday.
nobody will be here.
Nobody will be here. Motion to adjourn.
Makes the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, folks. Thank you, internet. Joe, Connie.
Thank you. Thanks, Amy.
Welcome.
Dylan,
Just send it.
wasn't Joe.